My name is Sanika Bhangaonkar and I'm from Noor. Today we're going to be talking about the police, or as they're more popularly known, annoying. As we're seeing in the United States, and we just saw recently in India, the police, for a lot of communities, are less like the local legal charlatans and are more like the overarching concept of religious institutionalism. Oppressive, fear mongering, and breathtaking in the absolute worst way that word could be used. Anyway, so as we saw that police brutality was becoming a widely spoken about issue, we at Noor thought that it'd be helpful if we answered a couple of questions about the state of police brutality or the policing system in India. Particularly, what do the police do? How do they do it? And what can we do to change it? Let's start from the first one. What do the police do? In a lot of countries, including India, the purview of policing isn't limited to simply investigating and stopping crime. The police in India, for example, are also involved in a lot of social security services, particularly in personal identification cards, such as the Aadhaar card, driving license, etc. Everything from stopping a suicidal person from jumping to stopping jumping people at concerts into turning homicidal, all of it falls under the police. And in a rational society, you'd assume that the police officers were highly trained and handsomely compensated for doing the same. But that's far from the truth. Today, in India, the ratio of civilians to police officers is 695 to 1. According to a survey conducted in 2018, only 6.4% of the police officers recruited in the last 5 years had received some kind of legally mandated training, which means that police officers are both undertrained and overworked to uphold any kind of law. With their job expectations so high and their rewards so low, one can begin to answer the second question. How do they do their job? Well, the answer is that they don't. And before any hashtag khaki lives matter people begin commenting, let me just say that I understand why they don't. Their job provides them no financial incentive whatsoever to uphold the law, and in fact implies that they break it. And when law enforcement officers are put into a position where criminality and corruption seem more favorable, suddenly crime becomes both the enemy and the lover. And that's a concept that only works in Wattpad fanfictions and not in real life. Another problem with the vast and vague jurisdiction of the police officers in India is that moderate to extreme militarization seems justifiable in the eyes of legislators, which then gives a frustrated man with a midlife crisis who's forced to work 24/7, given inadequate salary and no financial incentive whatsoever to have a moral compass, a powerful rifle. And that is not good, whether or not he's in a uniform. And then it's not unnatural or surprising to see these kinds of atrocities happening. That's a bit disquieting, isn't it? Think about it. We live in a world where police officers, armed to the teeth, enter places of education and hurt and kill students. Back in 2014, in the town of Peshawar of Pakistan, members of the Taliban entered a school and massacred students who were studying there. What's the difference between them and the police? No, think about it. Which shades of your outfit decide or allow you to kill innocent civilians? Which badges on your chest allow you to get away with corruption, allow you to get away with property destruction? Protect and serve, law and order, these are phrases we always associate with police officers. But when you really think about it, all over the world, the police protect only those who they're either internally predisposed to or financially motivated to. They serve only the politicians with whom they run their circus of cyclic oppressions. The law they uphold is a joke. They sacrifice their criminal before any crime is committed. They shoot before they ask any questions. The order they strive to maintain is an order that is fundamentally flawed and it has to be challenged so that they realize that some kind of major reform is necessary, be that in the form of defunding the excessive militarization of the police and using those funds to invest in their education, training, and proper mental health facilities, or be that in the form of abolishing entire city police systems and starting from the ground up again. Because the answer to our last question, what is it that we can do to change it, is a resounding no one knows. Because in India itself, there has been no noteworthy reform to the policing system. And as we stand with the protesters of the United States, the shame is that India isn't even close to have begun the conversation of police accountability. And maybe it's time we change that.